Friday morning, August 19th. The season is moving along. It's starting to stay darker later into the morning. It's actually a little chilly this morning. I had to close all my vents. This is the third day of this week that I'm commuting. Did Monday, Wednesday, and now today. This is actually the first week all summer that I was able to make it 3 days because of how much rain we've had. Between the rain, the miserable humidity, it's just not been a very pleasant year for riding. Anyway, last night I installed a LED headlight on my bike. I had the stock incandescent bulb. I'm assuming it was the original bulb from the factory, but even if it wasn't, I know I put over 10,000 miles on it. I don't know how many hours that comes out to, and I don't know how long these things last, but I was a little concerned about having that single bulb that I've been depending on all this time. So I found one of these very cheaply made LED bulbs, LED headlamp assemblies. I'm assuming it was made in China. It was $60. I mean, Harley charges over $400, I think, for the Daymaker. And the JW speaker version, people who actually make the thing, I think they charge around $340 for a 5.25. Is it 5.25? Yeah, 5.75. Anyway, the one that fits the Sportster. That's a lot of bread, you know. So there are a number of different sellers online selling these little knockoff lights. Some people really like them. So I thought, for $60, how can you go wrong? You know, give it a try. One issue people have had was fitment. No issues with fitment. It actually was a slight bit loose compared to the stock setup, and that's because I think the stock setup had these little rubber tabs, kind of allowed it to seat in a little tighter. So I just improvised, took a little black electrical tape and wrapped it around the inner ring. I might just pop it off and put a little more on, because I didn't want to put too much on. But anyway, it's nice and firm. Put it together. There was no issues at all. I can get back together. It took me 20 minutes, and I did it twice. Just took my time and messing around with it. But I literally can do it in 5 minutes. It's that simple. So then I took it out when I got home from the meeting last night about 10:30. As soon as I put the headlight on, my first thought was, oh, I must have the high beam on. I looked down, nope, no high beam. Just regular old headlight, and it was brighter than anything I've ever seen coming off of my motorcycle, you know, probably even my car. Very, very white, and very good coverage. That was another thing people sometimes don't like about these LED lights. I had no issues at all with how it was lighting up the sides in front of me. Took it for about a mile ride. Just regular, you know, low beam was sick, man. It was great. I loved it. It was brighter than even the high beam on my old bike, or my old bulb. And honestly, I never used the high beam on my old bulb because it would just throw light like way up high, or I don't know where it would throw light, but it never seemed to land. You know, it just didn't really. It was harder to see. So standard beam, better than anything I had with the old bulb. High beam, just ridiculous, over the top. I mean, it really lit up the area. I mean, literally, I could understand how they came up with the name Daymaker. When you hear that name, you're like, you know, wow, this thing just lights up. I can't even imagine, you know, these bikes that have a 7-inch headlamp and the two running lamps, you know, like they look like they're like 3-inch or something on the side of it. I mean, those things must be ridiculously bright. But just this one 5.25 incher, and wow, you know, what a nice improvement. So I'm very happy with it. I can tell from the reflection in all of the street signs that I'm going past that it's really doing what it's supposed to. When I was riding out, I passed a couple of white signs, and wow, the white light coming back at you is really strong. So definitely a success, even if this thing, like I said, didn't last. It would be worth it to replace it every couple of years because of how nicely it does what it does. So at this point, I just hope that it lasts. That's the only question. I mean, my bike vibrates a lot. I obviously don't want it to rattle apart. And if it, holds up, some people have complained about it getting moisture in there. So I have to watch that too. But I don't ride in the rain. Of course, there'll always be that time it happens. So we'll see what happens there. But counting that a success, and that should be it for projects for the time being. I don't have anything else planned this time. So that's it. Just wanted to tell a few. I'll post in the link what I bought, and feel free to comment. I'm noticing a lot more reflection in the street signs. See how white that speed limit sign looks. This guy's got an incandescent bulb which just passed me. It's very, very typical yellow, like I've been using. And the light coming off of this bulb is basically white. I hope it's an attention getter. That is the idea. Well, this is what it looks like in the daytime. That's the low beam. Pop the high beam on here. It's weird, it's on the bottom, but it actually throws the light out up top. But it looks really cool.